with 16 different classes inside of Dead Rails, and some of them costing up to 75 bonds, buying every single class can be quite expensive. So in today's video, we are going to be going through every single class and ranking them on a tier list from S tier down to the worst tier possible. So we can go ahead and save you your time and bonds to make sure that you're getting the best classes for this game. Subscribe if you guys are new. We are almost at 100,000 subscribers, and let's get into the video. All right, just going down the list with the first class being the Doctor class. Now, with the Doctor class, he spawns with healing items, can revive teammates by sacrificing half of your own health, no bandages required. Also, you can see that he starts off with 1 shovel, 2 snake oils, and 2 bandages. Now, for my personal opinion, if you're playing solo, this obviously is not for you, making this a complete dookie class. But if you're playing with a team and you guys do struggle to beat the game, I personally believe that the Doctor class is pretty good. So just because that it cannot be used that much if you are a solo player or don't have a bunch of people to play with, I'm gonna go ahead and put this one into the C tier just because you kind of need to play it as a team, and if you don't have a team, in my personal opinion, it's just not worth it. But still a very good class. And on to the next one, we have the Miner class, which me personally, I have not even used this one even though I have it, but it does say spawns with coal, has a headlamp that always provides light to an area, and can easily mine ore. Now this one is not that bad. Once again, the helmet really does make it worth it to me. If you're someone that likes to just travel all around the map and do towns, especially at night, this one can definitely be worth it, but it's definitely not one of the better ones on the list, especially because once you use the coal, you're already down to just having a light source and a pickaxe. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one at C tier, but don't worry guys, we might change around this list after we finish it. And also guys, I have to say, there is no correct order for this list. It really is just going to be whatever you want to personally use, and this is just so I can help you guys a little bit that don't have a lot of bonds to spend so you can get the best ones. Anyway, up next we have the Musician, and now for the Musician, you can see it is only 15 bonds, so it is very cheap. And it says, with this class, playing a banjo will slowly heal nearby players, but not yourself. So honestly, this is kind of like a cheaper version of the Doctor, but the only downside you're losing is that you aren't able to pick up your teammates without a bandage. But as long as you guys all play very safe, the Musician can definitely save you guys a lot of bandages. And it doesn't really heal that great at all, in my opinion. So just because of the poor healing on it, I'm gonna have to put this one in D tier because, hey, it's dookie, but it might be fun to just mess around with your friends. And up next, we have the Arsonist, a pyromaniac dealing double fire damage and spawns with Molotovs. Now, the Arsonist is honestly a really cool one, and I believe that it was one of the earlier classes to get added to the game. And hey, if you've ever used Molotovs in this game, you know they're pretty good. But the only reason that I would have to kind of put this one lower on the totem pole is because I'm honestly gonna have to keep this one in C tier. And hey, remember when I said that we would move some classes? Looking back at it, there is no way that Miner should be on the same tier as Arsonist. So I think for now, we're gonna go ahead and move that one up to B. But don't worry guys, by the end of this video, we should have a pretty good balance at the best to the worst classes in this game. Which up next, this brings us to Necromancer. And it says enemies killed with a melee weapon have a 25% chance of being reincarnated at the cost of 10 health. Me personally, I would rate this class way higher if it was like a 50% chance or even a 75% chance. I think that could make this class so much more fun to use. And at the cost of 10 health, it might just not be the best thing in the game. And with it being 35 bonds, that's kind of getting up there on the price on some of these. But like I said before, it's not the worst class in the game, and it's definitely better than the Banjo. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and put that one at B tier. Now, after Necromancer, we have the Packmaster, which honestly is probably one of the most unique packs in the game. Or, I mean, classes. Because with Packmaster, you actually spawn with 3 tamed wolves, and any wolf that attacks you will become tamed. So it's honestly pretty sick. Now, personally, I think this class would be a lot cooler if you didn't have to pick up the wolves in your pack at the beginning and they just started following you around. I think that'd be way cooler. Now, the part that makes this class really cool, in my opinion, is the fact that when they bite you, they also become tamed, because you can just go around outside and create a huge farm of wolves to just go around and attack all the zombies at towns for you, making this definitely one of the most fun classes in the game, especially if you do this with a party. So for me personally, just because I think this class is cool, I would put it at B tier, but just because it's one of the most unique classes in the game, I'm gonna put it at A tier. Alrighty, moving on, we have have the Conductor class. And on this class, it says can drive the train at a faster speed, but they don't spawn with a melee weapon. Now, personally, this one doesn't have too many uses in my opinion, especially if you use the 2 pull at the very start of the game. You now no longer have a real use for the class other than just being the train driver the whole game. So me personally, I would say the Conductor class can be really cool if you're doing it with a teammate. If you have a teammate that can be some other good class to defend you and loot for you while you just focus on driving the train, you could actually beat the game way faster than most players, especially if you're just trying to farm wins. So because of the function that lets you beat the game faster, I'm gonna have to put this one at a B tier. If the only thing this class did was spawn you with coal and not drive faster, it would definitely be a C tier. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, this could even be an A tier. I personally think A or B is a great spot for this class, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Up next, we have the High Roller. And now this one is a very, very good class in my opinion. As you can see, the High Roller collects money bags for 1.5 times more. So you are going to be making money faster than anybody in the lobby. But the only downside of this class is that you are 10 times more likely to be struck by lightning. So this is kind of one of those funny classes where you should honestly never die to it because the lightning rod spawns pretty often. But nonetheless, as long as you pay attention to what time of day it is and you can hide in the train or hide in the building. So in my personal opinion, this class is going to have to go in the A tier because getting some extra money just means that you can buy more armor and more ammo for your guns, which honestly as an A tier might even be too low. You know what? I'm actually going to put this as an S tier. If you guys disagree with me and don't think this is an S tier, let me know down in the comments. Up next, we have Cowboy, and the Cowboy spawns the player with a revolver, ammo, and a tamed horse. So trust me, I know what you guys are thinking. This is an actually sick class. I know it might not be the fastest thing in the game, but using a horse is actually really fun. It makes doing the side quests to this game a lot better because when you're off the train and just walking, you move kind of slow. And just because of the sheer amount of fun I think this class can bring, especially spawning you with a gun, and if you don't have the Robux to buy some guns beforehand, there's just so much good that this class can bring you to where I'm personally gonna have to put this in the A tier. Now up next, we have I think the most unique class in the entire game. As you can see, we are a werewolf and we have 2 times the speed, 2 times the damage, and 2 times the health. But the drawback is you only have that at night. And of course, you have a 0.9x during the day, meaning that you have a 10% nerf during the day, which isn't honestly that big of a downside. But for this class being 50 bonds, that is more on the steep side. But I think we've all been there where sometimes things aren't going as planned and you don't want to play during the day, or you're looting those towns that take too long in the nighttime switches, and that is where this class absolutely shines. So because of how good this class becomes at night, I personally believe this is going to be our second S tier. Up next, we have the Alamo, and the Alamo, I believe, is another class that has been in the game since the start, or since they first added classes, I mean. But the Alamo, you are a defense specialist focused on fortifying your train and making the train look as beast as possible. Now, as you notice, later on in the game, the Alamo doesn't really have too many special purposes because this class has no passive ability, meaning that you have no special ability like movement speed or any buff damage or health. So it only spawns you with 1 piece of helmet, 3 metal sheets, 3 barbed wire, and 1 shovel. So after you place down all your materials, this class is almost useless, but in the beginning of the game, it can honestly help with a lot of defense. So because it's not the best thing in the game, but it is still a solid class, I'm going to go ahead and put this one at B, just because I believe it's like middle of the road. Now, boys, we are starting to get to the point of the video where I think some people are going to get mad at me. But anyway, with the priest class, its only real buff is being immune to lightning strikes. But like me personally, like I said before, I never really die to lightning strikes other than like very rare instances. But although you do spawn with 2 crucifixes and 2 holy waters, I just don't really think this class is that good. With the holy water being kind of fun to play is kind of the only reason I'm not going to put this class in F tier. But like I said, relax, guys. Please don't get mad at me. I will put this class in dookie but fun, okay? I personally don't like using it, but I see how it can be fun, all right? Please don't hate me, please. And up next, baby, we have my personal baby, my favorite class in the game. We have the zombie class. Now, a lot of you guys are going to hate me for this because I actually did look online, and to my surprise, A lot of people hate the zombie class. I have no idea why. I personally think the zombie class is really fun, with the perks being that you can eat any animal or living thing in the game to replenish your health, so you don't have to worry about bandages. And also on top of that, the zombies can't detect you from as far, meaning you can get closer to them and loot places like the town without worrying too much about zombies coming to get you. So like I said, I know a lot of people hate it because they think it like doesn't heal you fast enough, but if you can get some really good guns like the rifle or the pistol and like save your ammo and kill everything from far away and then just go ahead and eat some zombies to heal you up, I personally think it's a lot of fun. Okay, now don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be crazy and put it in S tier because I know a lot of people don't like it. Okay, but me personally, just know that I would put this in A tier. I think it's a lot of fun because you just never die, even if you're going through some hard challenges. Now don't get me wrong, because I know this class is hated online so much, I'm gonna put it in B, but just know that ClayK personally thinks this is an A tier class. Alrighty boys, up next we have the vampire class. It's another case where people are probably gonna be mad at me. The vampire class. The only good thing about this class, in my opinion, is using the increased movement speed, because bro, you can go super fast, especially if you combine this class with some snake oil. Also, the vampire knife is really fun to use, but once again, I kind of just don't think the vampire knife is that good. Let me know what you guys think down below, but I personally believe the vampire knife should have a huge buff. Because of how dangerous it is getting so close to people in this game without a gun, I just think that the vampire knife should kill almost every mob in like 2 to 3 hits max, maybe even just 2. But because of that, and I personally don't like the playstyle, I'm personally gonna have to put it in C. Alrighty guys, up next we have the Survivalist, which is the lower your health, the more damage you do. So this class is kind of unique, where there's not any other class like it in the game, but I do believe that even if you're playing alone or with people, this class can help out a lot, because you can intentionally lower your health, have somebody like the doctor that can revive you, and you can just do so much damage even with a pistol that you could honestly carry the team. I don't really have like any playtime with this class, and I can see how for some people this might be an S tier, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and give it an A tier just because the damage buff. Which brings us to our last one, the Ironclad. Now guys, if you have enjoyed this tier list or disagree with me, subscribe please, and let me know down in the comments what you think. But the Ironclad, I don't really see how you could rate it any lower than B. So I'm gonna put it right there. But anyway, guys, this right here has been my list. As you can see, I have a lot of classes in the mid to B tier. And honestly, now that we're looking at it, the minor can definitely go up to A tier. I think these are definitely some good classes we got going on here. Let me know if you agree with me, disagree with me. Let me know your classes down below in the comment section. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.